We are live. I am Savage Squishy86, and this is our continuing live stream coverage of Bloodborne. Last time we played, we conquered Canehurst Castle. We conquered the the Nightmare Frontier. Sorry, brain fart. And we got ourselves started with the Forbidden Woods section. However, there was a few things I did miss from the live stream. So before we get into the Chalice Dungeons we have established, I will go over those things that I actually missed and found off stream. So as you can see, I made a second hunter so that I can actually avert that in the future. So if I decide to get, like, I have a Bloodborne itch and I need to scratch it, I don't screw up my stream progress in tangent with farming and Bloodborne. So we're gonna go ahead and start our main character, which is Gabriel Belmont. Terrible mistake. Actually 3 mistakes. So I discovered indirectly 2 chalices by completing a cooperative chalice dungeon. So I kind of jumped the gun a little bit in terms of productivity with my exploration of the chalice dungeons, and I found not 1 but 2 chalices that I actually have now in my possession. So right away I will show you that I now have my hands in access to the Lower Thumeru Root Chalice, which enables me to use a Fetid and Rotted Offering to get more blood echoes. I did this by completing the Lower Thumeru Chalice dungeon. It's a stage 4 Chalice dungeon, so we pretty much conquered the third boss, the third lair Chalice dungeon of the Lower Thumeru. And by completing the third boss of that Chalice dungeon, this Chalice dungeon, you get the Lower Thumeru Root Chalice dungeon. By completing the 4th lair Chalice dungeon of the Lower Thumeru, we unlocked the Defiled Chalice dungeon. Now, the Defiled Chalice dungeon is a curse kind of Chalice dungeon where it literally, if you have a health that's this big, it will cut your health down by this big. So that is another element of that particular Chalice that is another difficult Chalice dungeon. So we pretty much got 2 Chalice dungeons indirectly off stream, including obviously the Alien Iran, which we got from the Nightmare Frontier from completing the boss against the Amidala boss in the Nightmare Frontier. I also found a rune, which before we get started with the Chalice dungeons, I'm going to show you where I found this rune. This is another powerful rune. It's a very significant one. It gives you 200% poison resistance. So what we're going to do here before we get started is we're going to head back to the Nightmare Frontier. And I do apologize. This seems very kind of, I wouldn't say backwards, but very discombobulating. So just take this journey with me and we'll see if you can recount. You may very well have found this if you followed with me up to this point, but if you haven't found it, then I'm going to show you where it is precisely. Again, I apologize. This was an unforeseeable circumstance, but no streams are perfect as much as I would like them to be. Because I hate making mistakes like this, because it just makes me look very... For me, being a perfectionist and being OCD, this is something that just really would bug the hell out of me. So we'll just get a couple of echoes. So, we don't go this way. Never mind that part. What we're going to do is we're going to take the shortcut here from this little rock face here. So, head back the way we came just a little bit. I got a little carried away with killing the monsters, so... What we're going to do is run up here. and then run across this bridge. So traditionally, just like you would if you were going to take down Patches the Spider. And then basically what we're going to do is down here with this giant little monstrous little troll guy, we're going to get his attention, just get him out of our way. Come on, boy. Come on. In your own time. He didn't drop anything good. So once you get to this point, I think you recall I actually went down here and I forgot that it was actually right here. So right here on this body, you will find the rune. Let me pull it up here. For the stunning deep sea rune, which adds 200 plus resistance to rapid poison. So if you're rapidly poisoned, this will give 200 plus % resistance to it. So I missed this in my previous stream, but when I was going through the process of farming the area, I managed to find this rune right here on this body. If you need a reference, just remark it as being the area where these little slug enemies basically were at. So, but that's basically what that is. I basically missed this a little bit earlier, and it was kind of like a bit of a unforeseeable circumstance, which is why I took the liberty of making sure that I actually have the resources available to me for the next time. But yeah, and then basically, like I said before, when I was doing the lower Hintertomb Chalice Dungeon. I was doing this Chalice Dungeon, this one. And by completing the third boss of that Chalice Dungeon, you will get the lower Thumaran Root Chalice Dungeon, which will open you to the more randomized Chalice Dungeon layup. And I also, by completing the fourth layer, I got the Defiled Chalice Dungeon. So we're going to go ahead and use a Bold Hunter's Mark. Get back to the lantern quick, and we're going to get started right away on those Chalice Dungeons. But that was a minuscule mistake, but one that I couldn't have predicted. So, but I mean, it's okay. So right away, we're basically going to get right into the action. So over here, we have this Chalice Dungeon. This is pretty much the same Chalice Dungeon that I completed off stream. It was actually pulled up when I was helping another hunter complete it in their Chalice Dungeon. So this is exactly hand for hand, verbatim, exactly the same dungeon. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into that. The lower Hintertomb being next in the list. I hope you guys slept well. But yeah, it's about 1:47, going on 2 a.m. I should be asleep, but I actually came home and went right to bed as soon as I got home from my day, and I woke up at midnight tonight, so I'll be up for a little while. Decided to do this. I have a job interview tomorrow at 3 o'clock, so I'm hoping that will go over really well. Looking forward to that. So pretty much, we're gonna get started. Oh, I see you lurking there, Chaos Mel. You little sneak. Good night, good evening, dear. How are you this evening? Yes, it is for the week. But I like to sleep. It's so comfy with all my furs, my comforters, my beasties. So as soon as we get started, we're gonna head right into the first side area leading off from the main area. Now down here we will encounter a new type of enemy in the form of these little bug enemies. Not terribly damaging on their own, but in groups they can be. Phantom ones are extremely dangerous, which we will start encountering. Ah, I feel so special. Thank you. So right away, right here on the left, you're going to see there's a trap. We're going to go ahead and not trigger that, try to avoid it. We can hear there's a snatcher march stomping around down below us. Now, these nightmarish little things, they're actually susceptible to blood tinge, so they're very easily damaged by guns mainly. But you can also use weapons like the Bloodletter and the Chikage, which are blood-imbued weapons. We don't have the Bloodletter yet. That's part of the Ancient Hunters DLC, but we can use the Chikage if we want. But I'm not actually. You know what? I think I will use that for now because actually I kind of like using it. Not really the best one in the world to use, but if I use it right, we get the benefit of the HP recovery. So hopefully the damage we take from it transformed with the poison slowly killing us won't be too damaging. So, but I guess we'll find out. You'll find that there's not a huge amount of payout, but it's enough to where it's reasonably good in that capacity, so... Nope. Enemies are a little bit stronger here with this Chalice Dungeon, so you'll find that particularly with bosses as well as regular enemies, so just be careful with the expenditure of how much you put yourself forward. Here's one hidden by the incense. We'll sneak up and stab him. Now I'm going to try to get through as much of the Chalice Dungeon's layups as possible. Hintertomb, Lower Thumero, Thumero Root, and maybe Loran, if I'm lucky. But we'll see. Get these guys' attention. Poison to work. It's kind of semi-decent for a heal, but not nearly enough. So, with any luck, if we, let me look at the blood gemstone I got on this. So I got a gemstone in here. I think it's a cold blood gemstone. HP continues to recover for 3%, with weapon durability up by 5.2%. So, if I could get like an HP recovery, maybe 6%, maybe 5 even, I think this would be a lot more beneficial. Because the rapid poison kills you so well when you have it transform. But basically, the real play style of it is basically you want to transform in and out with the sword. It's basically blood magic, so it will kill you over time. Now here we have a new enemy type in the form of a I guess you would call this a guardian. I mean, at least that's what I would call him, but big bastard with a sword. There's two types of them. There's a sword one, which is approaching us. There's another one that may have a shield, and I think there's another one with a crossbow, so we just want to get him in a good position where we can get him, but gotta be careful with that attack, because he's got a nasty reach with that sword. And that's it. So we get a Tempering Blood Gemstone from him, head down the steps, and inside we will find, in the coffin, Ritual Blood level 3. So we will pay close attention as well with our hearing, because we do have the odds chance of running into occasionally some blood lickers. So that's an opportunity for us to get some blood gemstones for our guns. And we have a hidden passage. So we'll go ahead and leave our marker for this brother. He was actually pretty solid about doing that. There's our Snatcher friend. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Over here on the body, there's some cold blood dew. Go ahead and grab that. And then just make sure there's nothing else around here hidden. Look for any notes or passages that may be hidden. And now we will go back and explore this hidden passage. Be very careful. The reason why I stress that is because we obviously know there are little bugs down here, so pretty much we know that there potentially are phantoms. There will be phantoms. I've encountered them already, so be prepared for them. But out here we got a chest, and inside we will find sage wrist, so ritual materials. And just drop down. No need to go all the way back around. This basically just leads you back the way you came. So, and we'll head to our first Chalice chamber. There's going to be a lot of these little passages possibly hidden, so you just take the time. I know there's another one somewhere, actually two others somewhere, I just need to find them, but they're much deeper in the Chalice dungeon. So as soon as we enter here, we will find there's a trap to our front, and the gate out of here to our right, we need to go up. So avoid the switch, unless you want to die. Then by all means, you know, square dance on it. Here we have a door that's sealed from the other side, so we'll go ahead and leave a coin, basically to the allure that maybe somebody will come about. Matter of fact, you know what? I think what I'll do is I'll show you how the beckoning bell works at present, so we'll go ahead and... We got insight to burn, so let's go ahead and use the beckoning bell. And with any luck, we'll have somebody come and join us. Switch out my Chikaje. But yeah, head over here, and we will head down this passage here. Avoid the ambush. Easy work. Oh, there's our ambush. There's the phantoms. We gotta get this girl. Oh shit, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Where are you, lady? Whew. That I had to that got me a little anxious there. I didn't realize I was gonna get blitzed like that. So obviously we got rid of the bell ringing witch, so that takes care of her phantoms. Yeah, they can kill you really fast, so you want to be careful with the red bug phantoms. They can kill you so fast. But down here we have the other giant one with a crossbow shooting stones at us. And if we get too close, he will switch to a little short sword. Which will be much easier, so try to close the gap if you can. He's much easier to manage. And then he will drop us 3 blood vials. Get some blood bullets, and heal. And then flip the switch. Church. So how are you today, Mel? Was your day okay? Did you cause any shenanigans on your game? Or any other facet of sorts? We're gonna go ahead and demonstrate this vulnerability of these bugs to the blood tinge of this magic. Ah, we got help coming. Ah, there we go. A Confederate Pepolo 101 has arrived, so basically this is another player that will help If you ring the beckoning bell, basically this is what you will get. They will ring the bell and they will come to your aid as needed. So it's kind of a bit of a boon in that capacity. So right now I'm just trying to get my bearings of where I'm going. Obviously I came out this way, so the way out is going to be here. And there we are. I'm going to wave hello to him. So we will have this man helping us for our next hunt section. So we're going to open up, he's going to open up the gate for us and move forward. And then I think we have a side area coming up here, or not. Nope, doesn't look like it. So it looks like it's just us. So we're going to go ahead and get this party started. We got a merciless watcher and we got some merciless chieftains. We got our chieftain and a watcher, which we'll probably split the duties. Good man. And that is easy work. And with that, we basically got ourselves one less job. Now, the cool thing about it is that the beckoning bell will continue to ring. He will be sent back to his world now that we've killed the boss, as you see. And we will get the benefit of having that bell available to us in the future. So from that fight, we'll get a Tempering Blood Gemstone, we'll get 2 Insight, and we'll get a Vermin. Now, the Vermin is actually significant to another quest line, which we will go about finding in the Forbidden Woods. But basically, if you noticed in his name, it said Confederate. So basically, there's a rune you can get from another quest line, which we'll get to, that enables you to get Vermin. So much like the Vile Blood Registry, where you get dregs for PvP, you can get Vermin for hunting down monsters and killing the little wormy things that crawl out of them. So basically that's what those are. Every player we team up with that has a Confederate rune in their character, we automatically get Vermin for that. So you can get that by equipping it yourself or getting it from other players. So, but those are going to be important because for us to advance the quest, we need to kill 5 Vermin. So we have now, at present, 4. So it's a good starting point. We'll be able to get through that quest line very fast if we get 5 of them. So we'll go ahead and light the lantern, get ourselves some blood bullets, and descend into the second chamber. Welcome to the stream, mystery viewer. Feel free to say hello. We love to see who enjoys the game as much as we do here. Light the lantern, and here we will have 2 walls. Check them both, make sure there's no hidden passages, and then we will head through to this area. Now below us we will have another passage that we can navigate, as well as a door directly to our right, which will lead us into the next area. I'm going to switch my weapon, though, from the Chikaja, because I need something with a little bit more oomph. I'm thinking probably the Threaded Cane, like usual. I like a crowd control weapon and a powerful weapon. So, we'll, we got another bell ringing action. Fabulous. Right there, we have another door, opens from one side, so there's a chance this will take us back to another location, so we'll leave some coins and find our way back there. Now, because he rang that bell, any and all threats will potentially show up. Here we have another hunter. This one I've worked with as well. His name is Know Thyself, so he will be right along with us. But here we have... Oh, he returned to his own world. Okay, I guess he doesn't want to play with us then. That's fine. Yeah, sometimes you'll get players who want to stick around and give you a hand, and there's players who just don't really want to help at all. So it kind of goes with the risk of it. So, ooh, he took a huge health on me, didn't he? We got another blood gel here. Use your hunter torch. It's the best thing to use against them. In the distance, we have looks like a depository of rats, so we'll go down there and kill them next. Come on, boys. So once we dispatch all the rats, grab the resources around the area, as well as any that the rats may have dropped. And then we'll make our way back to the cloth-made makeshift bridge, and to the left here, we will have a ladder. Go ahead and ascend it. Looks like we got another bell. Now, here we will have two paths, one to the right and one to the left. Obviously, we'll take the one to the left first. Ah, Peblo is back. Welcome back, Peblo. On the body to the right, you'll find some numbing mist. Go ahead and grab that. Then open the passage forward and up to the lever. Obviously, we will have a watcher here, which we will intercept and kill. Easy 5,000 echoes and a fire-cursed blood gemstone. We'll flip the switch. We'll make our way back. Make sure there's nothing on the sides here, though. And then we will head into the next passage that we took. He will drop a cursed fire damp blood gemstone, which we will take as well. And here we have some incense, which obviously is blocking our sight, but he's dispatched some of it already. So over here on the body in the center, though, roll up Molotov cocktails and some ritual blood, along with two other chests back here, including 2 mold and more ritual blood. So pretty decent setup. Here I think we have a hidden passage. Here we go. A hidden tomb. We'll go ahead and navigate it. And inside we will find a number of nightmares. Awesome. Didn't even need to... None of them got away either. That's awesome. Get all the items they drop, including the blood gemstones. Get the 2 mold from the chests. Over here, there's probably 2 chests. Nope, doesn't look like it. Strictly a nightmare tomb. So, hey, I'll take it. Cool. And with that said, we'll just make our way back the way we came. This way. We're going to want to go this way, and then we'll make our way up and back the way we came. I like communities like this though, where they're helping you. They actually give a shit about if you succeed. So it's really uplifting. Here we have a side area which Peplo is gonna get to us before us. Big shout out to you, Peplo, if you ever see this. I'll probably send them a message. They're famous. They're on my stream, brother. Matter of fact, let's go over here, Peplo. I think this is going to be a courtyard area. Right this way, we get through the rats, where we can grab the quicksilver bullets, and then just follow him. He seems to know where we're going, so be mindful. If I know this place is going to be a cannon here. Over here on the body, we will find some quicksilver bullets. He's obviously intercepted some enemies ahead of us, so he's definitely on a roll. Good man. So right away, we're gonna have this coffin here after we dispatch the Watcher. And this is where actually we get the arcane. This is actually right where we get the arcane tool, if you recall. I'll pull it up here real quick for you before I get ahead of myself. Basically, this is where we get the arcane haze extractor, is from this coffin right here. So this is basically where we find it. I found that accidentally off stream as well, and pretty much that's where that pretty much was the cumbersome of that. So that's basically where you get that. We're also going to head back the way we came, though, and I want to go up. He'll probably want to move fast, but I want to really kind of get my bearings with everything else I want to find, so... Oh, wait a minute, no. Wait a minute, wait, I'm confused. Okay, yeah, we're going to go up. Always kind of get a little topsy-turvy there. Over here, on the body, we'll find some Madmen's knowledge. Here we have the Scorpion, which he dispatched. And it looks like this is actually where our next area is. But I think this is actually leading back to the way we came, so we pretty much already didn't have to go back that way. I'm telling him, go on ahead that way, that's where we're going. This is obviously just going to take us back to the other area we were just at, so we're going to head back the way we came. And deal with that, and then we'll head over here. Easy body on the Snatcher, with some ritual blood to give. Over here on the corpse, some thick cold blood. And then we will head up and deal with the next Snatcher. we will have a lever across from us which Peplo will push, and that will lower the drawbridge. And now we can get across. So let's head across and get those resources. Some vial blood, some more blood vials, more blood vials, more blood vials. Our blood vials have been completely replenished. And some rope Molotov cocktails, and some more blood vials. Ah, another bell ringing. Good. I will never say no to the opportunity to have more hunters. And we have Beef Funk 5000. Awesome. And then over here we have a chest with an odd tempering blood gemstone inside. Just to make sure there's no other hidden passages, he's going to check the walls. So he's definitely got his ducks in order of how to play. I like this guy. I think I'll add him. You can always add new friends and make a little makeshift hunting party. And then we'll head through this passage. Oh! And I think there's nothing here. I think this is pretty much a dead end now. Nope, it's a dead end. So we'll just drop down this little hole here into the cavern below. And get back on the business of doing the next stage of our next boss fight. So head back the way we came. Instead of the ladder, take a right, head up the stairs and out of the side area of the next Chalice Dungeon chamber. I can hear a blood liquor, so I'll probably go back and deal with that blood liquor when these guys are gone. I wonder where Homeboy is. Wonder where he is. I think I don't know, should we find him? I'm not sure where he is. No? Ah, there he is. Good. Now we can get on with the business. So, in this Chalice Dungeon, I believe we will encounter an undead giant with a club. Now, the club giant is probably one of the most dangerous ones around because he has a huge amount of chains on his back that can really fuck you up. So, we want to be careful with that attack and try to get him as much as we can. So, let's see what we can do. So the big thing you want to watch out for is his hook sword and his chains on his back. The club is avoidable, but the chains will get you in repeat pattern of attacks. As you can see. Damn. Nasty boy. And that's it. Now, I got lucky with that because ultimately that was a much more easier battle than initially intended. But I got lucky with that because I actually had the benefit of the extra help. So, but those boys basically did me a service with helping with that boss fight. So, I'm very pleased with that. So before we press onward, though, we're going to go back and get those blood liquors that I heard. You don't have to worry about the other hunters coming back because this area pretty much will be inaccessible to them now because of the fact that they had taken down the enemy, the boss. No boss, no other hunters will appear. So you can pretty much go about the measure of just pursuing this next course of the fight If there's anything you missed, you can backtrack and get it. If there's anything you want to go and get, you can go back and check it. Just be due diligent that you don't get killed, as you'll be out the insight. So right now, I'm just basically trying to get my wits about me of where that heard that blood liquor. I think that blood liquor was, I want to say, another area over. I don't take the. I very well could bypass it, but I don't want to. I want to get the echoes, but more importantly, I want the blood gemstone because I don't really have many in the way of blood gemstones for my guns. And the more I can get, the better. So I'm just basically trying to keep my ears open for it. It's definitely not here, so it's probably going to be back in the other dungeon where I was. So what we'll do is we'll actually take... There's a side passage, I believe, somewhere. I just gotta find it. I think it was back the other way. I remember I left coins outside of it, so... Yeah, I think it was probably back an area. It was an area back, so I gotta go all the way back to the first area, the second area. So we'll just double back a little bit. And I'm pretty sure we'll find it here. Oh, I almost thought that fucking rat was alive. I was like, wait a minute, what? I thought we killed you. That was kind of a mindfuck. So... This isn't here. I'd wager it's going to be the skeleton guys, the guardians. With the swords and the hammer, with the swords and the crossbow. So, we have a winner. This is probably one of the watchers, one of the dungeon jailers. So we'll dispatch this one. Pretty straightforward, 2,000 echoes, but, you know, echoes is echoes. I will never say no to a good amount of echoes, so... It may have been a wasted trip to some people who probably believe it would be nothing worth going back for, but me, I don't know. I disagree. I always go back for everything, you know. If I didn't go back for it, it would literally probably drive me nuts until I just couldn't stop stressing it, so. Alright, so this is basically where that leads to the next side area. So now I guess we'll head on to the next dungeon lair of level 3. Before we do that, let's go ahead and light that lantern. And we'll head down the elevator to level 3. Pay close attention to above you because occasionally you'll have balconies leading to the next stage of the element of that environment. So we'll definitely want to have that benefit of that. Welcome to the stream. Inside we will have a lantern. We'll go ahead and light that. Check the side walls for any hidden passages. And then further ahead to our left will be our way out. To our right will be our next objective point. Now this part is going to be a little harder because, as you can see, we have a unique enemy. Also a hidden passage there, mind you. But down there, you'll see a new enemy in the form of one of the kin of Ram. It's a baby spider with a unique head. This is a boss that you will encounter in the real world as part of the main story, but we have not encountered this boss yet. So this is basically the children of Ram. These are giant spider-like threats, but they're incredibly powerful with their hard little white head. So we'll go about that once we have some backup, because the next area is going to be really dangerous. So I'm not going to move forward until I have some hunters poured in, probably. In here, we'll find a chest on the left. Go ahead and open that. Some quicksilver bullets will be inside. There's also a couple more chests here. The main chest below this altar will have also some sage wrists. Another small one to the right with ritual blood. And that will be it. So, now the Ram and the children of Ram are, in a sense, kin enemies, so they will be vulnerable to thrust, and they will be vulnerable to electricity. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and just use our main weapon of the threaded cane. We're not going to use the Tantris. We could, but I don't want to use too much of it. He's got a huge attack where he launches himself with a, kind of like a missile-like attack where he just, headbutts you straight down. But in the distance here, this is why I don't really want to rush ahead, because we have phantoms ahead. Oh, good. We got some backup. Great. We've also could hear there's a couple more of those little centipede threats, and there'll be those in bulk, so we want to do this carefully. We'll switch our hunter blunderbuss for the pistol. Excuse me. Dabba Dabba Bad. Okay, that's a curious name. Oh. Okay, this is a curious one. Let's see how this goes. He's not wearing the adequate hunter attire, so I don't know what's going on here. He's obviously taken off down below to deal with those threats, so I won't terribly be upset about that. Gives me an opportunity to focus on these guys if I can. Kinda wish he was up here helping me, though. So what I want to do is get behind the giant and get rid of him. So we got rid of him. Now we'll deal with the Snatcher. He seems to be down there enjoying himself, so less work for me. But it's kind of a bit of a drag because we ultimately will have to, basically, I gotta run around and gather all these resources anyway, so I'm hoping he's not one of those speedrunner types. I have nothing against speedrunners, but I'm not a speedrunner. I explore, I search, and I get everything I need. So Hopefully he's not one of those types. But since he's dispatched most of these little insectoid kin enemies, we will grab the arcane elements around us. There's also some blood vials on some of the bodies back here. And it looks like he bypassed the it looks like he bypassed the old hunter. As you can see now, there's an old hunter threat here, along with dogs. So I don't know really why he would bypass that. I mean, I would think he would probably want to take that out, but okay. Over here, there is some thick cold blood. You see, he's a rusher. I'm not rushing, buddy. Over here, some blood vials. I don't like rushers. I really don't. I'm in it for my own measures and my own reasonings. It seems like he's down there fighting them now, so. And now here is where the chamber is leading to the switch, which he got ahead of us on. So he's obviously already pulled the switch, so we'll go ahead and grab the blood vials off of the body of the Guardian, and then we'll regroup with him. Yeah, if you're a speedrunner, I got nothing against people who are speedrunners. I mean, that's a new thing for people to enjoy, see how fast they can complete really hard missions, and that's great. But if you're a speedrunner, don't take it personal if I don't rush through the thing like you do. I mean, it's just not my thing. I don't rush my games. I enjoy them. I take the time to enjoy them, as should anyone. So we'll head down here. I'm definitely going to go over here and see about finding that haze element, as well as the if he's killed the Guardian old Watchman. Here we got arcane haze, we got thick cold blood, we got more arcane haze. He hasn't killed the dogs. Alright, it looks like he killed the dogs here. Good. Awesome. And he killed the old watchman of the old lords, so that's good too. So he did his part. I'll probably come back here though, afterwards though, because this is pretty much like an area here where there will probably be a blood liquor. He's obviously probably in the next area now. He's in the side area, probably doing that. So he's got a really big head start on me. So we'll rush on down here, past the gate now that we've opened. And here we will have a side area. Grab the ritual blood off the snatcher he killed. And then I believe there will be also 2 hunter hounds, demon hounds, basically. And then there will be there will be a watcher of the old lords. Grab the blood vial. And then here we will have a snatcher, a bold hunter mark. He saved my neck there because he could have killed me. So once we dispatch the old hunter, the watcher of the old lords, just grab the resources in this area. He will continue his sweep, probably heading to the south. I'm gonna just check this section. And then basically just follow his direction. Over there's something that looks like we got a Rom, a child of Rom. So that takes care of that. Molotov cocktails off this body. Over here I saw something. Blood vials also off that body. And then we will head over here. So that'll be pretty much that. Numbing mist off the body here, and then head down here and open up the coffin. And inside we'll get 2 mold. Grab the blood vials off of the chunky monkey. And then we will head over here, check these walls. I don't remember the hidden passages here if it's further ahead. I think it's further ahead. But better to be safe than sorry. So here we have another hidden passage. We'll go ahead and open it. The passage over here. And in here we will have probably nothing, it looks like. Oh, we got a chest. Inside the chest we will find some ritual blood. And now we will make our way out. Now, this next part will be a boss fight with Rom the Vacuous Spider. Rom is a very large spider. He teleports on a few occasions, incredibly powerful by his own defaults. Uses a significant measure of magic. So he is incredibly gifted in that capacity. He's extremely vulnerable to blunt damage. He's extremely vulnerable to electricity, so we're going to use the Tantris for this job. And you can also get away with using fire, which ironically is weird because he's a kin enemy, but he is very vulnerable to fire and lightning in equal measure. So we're definitely going to take advantage of this opportunity and, yeah, get this thing going. The important thing to mind is he will have many little children of mom, so multiple spiders backing him up. But there are 3 stages to this fight. The first stage is he will ultimately just stay back and let his children of Rom do the aggression. Basically, we want to get rid of many of them as we can. The other thing we want to do is we want to make sure we can actually get close enough to him to do some damage, because he will teleport away after a set period, and enabling him to basically get some distance between you and him. If you do a lot of damage to him, he will teleport away a lot sooner, and you will have to re-pursue him. At each teleportation, though, he will redeploy a new band of children. So he is teleported away. The second stage of the fight, he will start using a meteor impact attack, and basically getting away with that. The third stage of the attack will basically him using a means of actually throwing blasts. Avoid the meteor blast from the ground, because that will actually kill you too. And I'm dead. Just like that. just like that. That's why it's very important to be careful. But as you can see, this enemy is very strong in the Chalice Dungeon, regrettably. So we will try to do it again. Rom can be very powerful. In the Chalice Dungeon, he's actually, in my opinion, he's actually times more powerful in the Chalice Dungeon than he is in the actual real world boss fight. So, I mean, it's not terribly surprising. I got killed, but not by no means is it unexpected. I think a big part of that was the aggression that got the better of me. So, but if you really want a good display of the boss fight, I had a really good. I got a clip somewhere in my playlist. I'll put it with this live stream coverage, like Bloodborne highlights. That's what you want to look for. Look for my video of Bloodborne highlights, and there was a really good video of a good clutch boss fight I had with Rom many, many years ago. Incredibly satisfying, very fun, challenging, but worth it all the same, and it was very good. So keep your eyes open for that. That's a very good one. Matter of fact, you know what we're going to do is we're going to hit ourselves up a little bit here. Get some benefits with this weapon. And I don't know why I put that on him. I didn't. Oh yeah, that's right. I made a habit of doing this now, putting the lantern in my inventory up here because it's much more easier and I can just switch it on and off. So yeah, that's much better. And then just moving the monocular over there. Adela's HP, blood, and then also we'll go ahead and use we'll use bolt paper. I'll use my threaded cane with bolt paper. I mean, I could use the Tantris, but it's just not as powerful. So I'll stick with threaded cane and bolt paper for now. So we'll wait for some backup. I am not going into that again without some backup, so hopefully it'll be some pretty suitable players. I could go back and go about farming, but I'm not going to do that. Right now, my big concern is I don't want to lose that 200,000 echoes I just got in there that I just dropped when I got killed. So first things first, I'm going to get that back. That is pivotal. But I will go ahead and use these insight materials and these echoes. Oh, oh. I do not like particularly encounters with boss fight, but if it's it's actually it's more beneficial and productive, I think, if I did insight with Curse Rotted and Fetid Chalice Dungeons. In this particular case, though, I'm only doing it because my strength is clearly not there yet. I could probably tackle it on my own, but I think the adage of having extra players makes it easier because Rom focuses attention on them more than me. But I got kind of sloppy with the abundance of Rom's children. So Rom's children can be dangerous alone in themselves, as you saw. That one bolt, that one dive bomber attack from the vacuous spider's child literally put me on my ass. So my health was like right here, and then it just went right down to here. So, and then of course, ironically, I just had enough to where I actually just outright died. So we'll just we'll sit tight, wait for some backup to get here. Kind of a bit of a drag because I was kind of hoping to get a little bit more productivity than in that sense, but it's okay. We'll take it. Phone. Hmm. Come on, I know there's a bunch of you fuckers wanting to play. Hmm. I'll try. I'll give. I'm going to try to do it myself. I'm not going to sit here and wait for very much longer. So I'm just going to cancel it, and I'll get down to the business of doing it myself. I'll just have to be very diligent with my progress. So we'll. First things first. I'm going to get my blood echoes. No! 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 Get away from me! Oh, you guys are gonna pain. You're gonna piss me off. All right, Tantris it is, buddy. Rom will not attack you while you're dealing with them. It's only when your attention turns to Rom that her aggression will actually pick up. So we'll use the advantage of dispatching Rom's children very slowly. And that's my thing. I'd like to get rid of Rom's children as fast as soon as possible. That way I can focus my attention entirely on Rom. Come on. Alright, so, Rom, listen, sister, we got a problem. You have a problem. So now pretty much the stakes are going to go up now because of the threat of the enemy. You want to avoid the explosion attacks like that. Try to keep her in your sight line because you want to watch out for any other attacks she may have. Like this one. Basically, the meteor attack is when she will rear up if you get too far away and she'll start throwing meteors at you, like that. They can kill you if they get you in overlapping attacks, so you want to avoid those if you can. When she rolls over her stomach, she'll launch meteors out of the ground. I like to go into a run, that way it's hard for her to get a target lock on me. Try to get to her side if you can. And now the stakes go up again with more aggression. Use Adela's blood. Try to listen for that loud little, like a little wind up. She sometimes will do them like in multitudes, particularly in instances when she gets desperate. So Jesus, lady, come on, take it easy. She's getting kind of desperate. She'll also, if you get too close, she'll do a blast attack like that. Want to avoid the missile. She'll try to keep you at her front at all times. And we got her. So pretty much right there, you get that. Now, after completing ROM, you'll get a Nourishing Blood Gemstone, and you'll get a Bloodstone Chunk. But more importantly, by defeating ROM, you will also get the Lower Thumerian Root Chalice. So by beating her to this point, you'll get this chalice for this particular chalice operand. Now we'll go ahead and light the lantern and proceed to the fourth final layer of this Chalice Dungeon. Now, the same strategy I would recommend employing in the real world, but like I said before, the boss battle with Rom in the waking world is actually harder than the Chalice Dungeon. Is the waking world Rom boss fight is actually easier than the one in the Chalice Dungeon. This Chalice Rom is actually harder. So, I mean, bear that in mind. After you get off the elevator, notice that this is the next area to go to, but to your right, up above us, there will be a messenger bath. Now, these are key to find in certain Chalice dungeons in the future, because some of them will have unique weapons you can only buy in the Chalice dungeon, and also ones where you can get unique chalices from the baths themselves. So you don't need to complete the Chalice dungeon today, but, I mean, it would help, but to get them, you have to play the Chalice dungeon. So, there's obviously a hidden path which will lead us to that messenger bath, so we're gonna find it. So once you enter this entry point, go ahead. We're gonna ring our bell again. I think that's our boy right there. Maybe. I forget his name now. Fucking hell. I'm bad like that. I remember faces more than names, so. But go ahead and check the search the walls for any weak points, hidden paths. Over here there will be a ghoulie. Go ahead and get him out of our way. Definitely want to probably preserve our health because we actually burned a lot of that during the boss battle with Rom. Here we have the way forward. This will take us to where we gotta go. Another visceral attack. So right there, pretty much do that. Make a trail for coins to be followed in the event we need them to. I can hear a nightmare on the other side of that door, so there's a nightmare ahead of us. More resources for us. I'll probably change out my Tantris now for my Saw Cleaver, because probably don't need to worry about too much in the way of threats now, Mara. It's a foul. That's just dirty. There's no hidden path there, but the guy's telling you that there's a hidden path there. What a dick. So once we dispatch the nightmare, we obviously have the opportunity to get another calling for help with Prospector Olek, but we're not going to use that. We will instead open the path here. A shortcut. Take the ladder up. And then we will have a series of paths, one to our right at the top of the ladder, leading us to our destination, and then another one across the bridge and down this other corridor, winding to the right. So we will follow the path to our right first. And here we have Watcher of the Old Lords, as well as his dog friends. So I may actually double back and not approach that until maybe another hunter shows up. I could very well vanquish him, but it's a little bit tougher with the dogs. I have to separate the dogs from him in order to engage him. And I don't feel too good about doing that. Not with my health at the state that it is. Come on. So we got rid of a ghoulie. There's a blood vial for us. Good. Over here on this body, we will find some thick cold blood. And then we have a guardian back here as well. So we'll dispatch him as well with a switch. Go ahead and shoot him. Visceral attack. Easy death. And he will drop us a Tempering Blood gemstone. Go ahead and pull the lever. We'll just have to go out taking our chances with getting the dogs, because I can't afford to wait for another hunter to show up in the event that he sees the door is open and he just runs right for the next area. And players will do that. It pisses me off in a big way, because they don't take the time to look and see if you're still in this current area, and by extension, they don't bother to come and help you with it. So I know this area is permeated with little parasitic enemies, so here we have them right here. Little tick friends here. So we'll just get them out of our way. Come on, boy. Now these guys are unique to the old hunter, the keeper of the old lords. They're much more aggressive. They're demonic in nature, so they will be a lot more combative in the sense that they will be able to fight on their hind legs, breathe fire, that sort of stuff. But the good thing about them is they're really great harvesting for twin bloodstone shards. Not necessarily always a very pliable resource to get, but enough to where it is pretty much attainable. So we'll just, that's what I want to do. I want to separate him from the Watch Lord and do some damage. So now that we've dispatched them, now we can give our full attention to these little bug friends of his, and then we can give our full attention to the old lord. You don't send in tanks without infantry support. Take out the infantry first, then dispose of the tank. And now I'll see if I can get the drop on him by walking up behind him. I got a backstab on him, but I didn't get a visceral attack on him because he was in the thing. Goodbye. And that's a wrap. He will drop a sharp, damp blood gem, which we will take, as well as the 6,000 echoes in tandem. Head down the passage that he was occupying. Oh! Oh, no. Okay, gotta go. Alright, so what am I doing is basically luring the phantoms away as best as I can. I want to get them as far away from this vicinity as possible. If I can get them to follow me, great. If not, then I will have to take initiative to whatever I can do to get them to follow me. Come on, buddy, follow me. You gonna follow me? Now what we want to do is run there as fast as possible and kill the bell ringing witch before she can summon more, which she probably already has. Which she has. They summon so fast. Faster than they should be able to, but they do. I do not like fighting those fucking things. I really don't. That can kill you so easily and so cheap. But thankfully we got five blood vials here on the body down here. Over here we got some Molotovs. Over here we got some fire paper. And then further over here we got some more Quicksilver bullets. So we're not better, but we're not god-awful either. So I'm gonna destroy these traps before they fucking kill someone. Because I'm pretty sure these are one-hit killers. So we'll go ahead and open up this passage now. Here we have Ghoulie on our right. On left, I mean. I am going to, the one thing I will invest in when I get my new job, if I get good pay, is I am going to definitely get a new PlayStation camera, because I'm using the old PS4 camera, and I definitely need to upgrade. This is not nearly as good as I would hope it would be, but, hey, hardware is advanced, so that'll be my next big thing. That'll be my first big thing I'm going to get. Then I'm probably going to work on getting a cane, another new cane, because I walk with a cane. And I'll probably see about budgeting for a tattoo, maybe. My father, my brothers, they all had tattoos. I'll probably have one. Haven't decided on what, though. I'm sure it'll come to me. So we could go down there. I'm not going to do that just yet. Instead, I'm going to go across here and I'm open up this path, which is actually going to lead me to a tomb. So we'll open up the tomb and go on inside. Now, by killing the Watcher, we can actually get access to the coffin. Now, if I recall correctly, this coffin in particular, is where I found the Claw level 3 rune in this particular Chalice dungeon. So this is where I found this rune right here. So if you're looking for it, this is the Chalice dungeon where you'll find it. Before we head out of here, though, we're gonna search the perimeter of the room and loot these chests. Potentially, most of them will probably likely have ritual material. They typically will. So we'll grab that good. Then we will drop down. Obviously, want to be careful. There's probably some blood gels down here. We got a scorpion as well. Scorpions are very vulnerable to fire. Again, they're beasts, but they have a vulnerability to fire, so you can usually get them with just a torch. We'll go ahead and replenish our blood bullets and continue our sweep. Here looks like we have a fork going to the left and the right. We'll take the left. We see a big boy here. And a chest to the right, if you notice in this over there. So we'll get rid of him first. Come on. Tempering blood gemstone from the Watcher, and from the chest we probably will have ritual materials. Yep, ritual blood. There's another chest over here behind this wagon, it looks like. More ritual blood, level 4. And then we will double back. And looks like that passage will take us to a chamber, a cavern with rats. So we'll be careful. I'm gonna go ahead and just get a good measure of them. Mind the snatcher to the right there. Trying to target him. There we go. Come on, boy. Come on, you want the heat? Let's go. Boom. Have your... Oh. Grab the ritual blood, and just be mindful of the blood gel. You'll find there's multiple blood gels here, which I think will get rid of some of them using Molotovs. Yeah, one Molotov, one torch. There's a body here in the corner. He has 2 Bull Hunter marks. Go ahead and grab that. This is obviously the passage we were just in, so we saved ourselves 1 trip. Over here we have another blood gel. Some numbing mist. Oh wow. Alright, that was weird. Okay. So, pretty much got rid of all those enemies. Over here, step over the pile of pigs and grab the blood vials. And, then I think we have a ladder access here. That was where we came. We went that way. We came from this way. So we will head up. And back the way we came when we first entered this chamber. This is where we killed the old hunter, the keeper of the old lords. There's his dogs. That's why I dropped the coin there to basically remember. Yeah, you came this way. Okay, great. And then we basically, I think we went this way too, didn't we? Ah, but we got a blood liquor, so it's good that I did come this way. Okay, let's get this blood liquor. Get the Thrugwid Holy Blade out. Again, remember, Vile Bloods are very susceptible to righteous weapons and thrust damage, so the benefit of both is right here with this big baby. So we'll go ahead and kill him. 1 big thrust, and 1 big slam. Done. Didn't get no blood gemstone, but we got 2,000 echoes, so I'll take it. And then we'll slide down and head through. Where is that entry point? Here. So as you recall, don't forget that messenger bath back there, which we're going to get, will lead us into this next area here. So at this point, I will call for backup. Ring my beckoning bell, see if anybody answers. And I will start leaving a trail of coins for them to follow. Ahead of us will be a watcher. And to our right, just out of sight line, will be the 2 fire-imbued ghoulies. Wow, he actually lived through that? Wow, he's like right on death's door too, dude. Some quicksilver bullets. Grab the blood vials. And then over here there will be a chest. Grab the chest. Inside you'll find some ritual materials in the form of the sage wrist. Then head across from the fat boy and open up the pass to this area. I can hear in the distance we have a bell-ringing woman, so with any luck we will have not the problem of dealing with those guys, but it looks like they're going above. They're not going to drop down behind us, so that's a good thing. But we still have to contend with them. So another way you can actually contend with this and counter this is a really nice trick that I learned. And it's ironic that we're here at a ladder level. So what I will do is I will go up the ladder and I will show you my method of countering the phantom bug enemies. So right away, as soon as they come in here, what we're going to do is drop down, and we're going to make them drop down here to us. The cool thing is they can't climb. So this is going to be a benefit to us because they won't be able to follow us up this way. So when you see them, try to backtrack to an area where you know they can't follow you and just make them fall down there. And now they're stuck down there. So we can attack and dispatch the bell-ringing woman without interruption. Asshole. Away with you. Obviously, still though, she's got some phantom soldiers in the form of the skeletons. And then that will take care of all of those bell-ringing bitches. So, that'll take care of them. Now we will go down here and deal with the zombie little ghouly friends, as well as this giant big boy. I am so good at doing visceral attacks. So there we have it. Another sage wrist. And then we can backpedal to the previous area. But before we do, we're going to just take a quick look around, make sure we didn't miss anything. Resources hidden behind the columns and whatnot. So, and it looks like we're good. So we're going to head over here. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check, make sure, I can't remember where that little room is, so I'll just kind of like going shooting from the hip here. I think it was actually over in this direction. The other passage we didn't take, so we'll head through this passage here now. This is actually over where we encountered the one enemy, in the courtyard below us down there, in the little makeshift hall down there. And I believe trying to find it here. Why the hell do you guys keep putting liar things all over the place? It's just so stupid. What are you doing? Drop down here, and I think in here is where we saw a body drop with a item on it. Just gotta find. Oh, there it is over there. I think you. Okay, I'm a little bit perplexed here because there should be a side area. This is a side area. Bear with me a moment here. I just got to get my bearings because this is a bit confusing. I know there was a thing leading to the messenger bath. Just gotta get my general layout of it. Yeah, that's the weird thing. I kind of wish this thing had a map because this is usually where a map would be important. So, okay, there's our messenger bath. So it's definitely going to be on the second floor. So let me just remember that math is behind me if I orient myself accordingly. So back is to the left, which makes I gotta go to the right. Bath is still behind me. Okay, so the bath is going to be to my right. So it's probably going to be in this Chalice dungeon, in fact, not this side area. This area here is where it's probably going to be. I just got to find it. So let's go find it. Head across the bridge here. And head through this passage here. And head through this area here. This is where we killed the old the keeper of the old. Well, here it is. Here's your secret area. I knew I wasn't I knew I was missing something. So, and now with the messenger bath here, we can basically buy a few things. There's a lot of things we can buy, in fact, from them. So we can pretty much buy resources of all of our sorts that we actually have used, so we can buy more. But more importantly, the reason why is we can actually buy the outfits here that we get from the Chalice Dungeon, certain outfits that you can only get from this Chalice Dungeon, certain weapons that you get from the DLC, but more importantly, the Sinister Lower Thumerian Root Chalice Dungeon. This one uses the Sinister Bell. Arcane Haze is used for the Sinister Bell. So basically what is that? Is basically a right where it basically endorses PvP. So you can use this to explore certain Chalice dungeons where you are potentially at risk of a player invasion. So we're going to go ahead and buy that. So that's basically where you buy that. It's really the only place you really do buy it. So it's pretty much straightforward in that capacity. But you get the Sinister Root Chalice Dungeon from there at that given point. So now that we found that, we can pretty much go about the measure of I'm just going to cancel the beckoning bell now because I haven't had any people come as of yet, so I won't waste the insight. What we will do, though, is encounter a new type of threat in the form of a bloodletting beast. So as the game goes, it is a beast, so we're going to need some weapons. We're going to need fire sprayer, we're going to need the threaded, we're going to need the saw spear, we're going to need we don't have any Molotovs, so we'll have to use our flame sprayer for that, but we also do have, but what we do have is we have fire paper, so we'll go ahead and equip that. So, here we go. Biggest two things you need to watch out for is the grab and bite attack and the huge Superman punch that he does, which you'll see. Superman punch that he does actually can kill you in one hit. Here's a charge attack he does. He also does a jump attack, where a stomp attack, which he jumps back from. Puts distance between you and him. Next stage of the fight, he'll do a huge punch attack like that, which has great reach and incredible damage, just like that. You want to try to dodge through it if you can, but I wouldn't recommend trying it too much. And that's it. Done. Bye. Have a great time. So after killing the bloodletting beast, you will get a gemstone, but that will in turn also grant you the defiled Chalice Dungeon. So we basically have accomplished those very things that we actually missed on the previous stream. So we'll go ahead and get started on those ones now that we basically have pretty much laid out the scope of those existential ones in that measure. So we'll go ahead out here. We will take this Chalice Dungeon off the pedestal now. The Hintertomb Chalice Dungeon will be next on our list, which we will explore momentarily. But I want to get a resource resupply, and I want to get some healthy power from my echoes.
Very well. Let the echoes become your strength.
So we will strengthen our strength to level 30 now. And then we will also use those echoes. Furthermore, we will also enhance our power of our weapon. So I think we will definitely improve the power of our Hunter Torch. And we will also do... we'll do the Tantris as well. Repair your weapons if you have to. In fact, I always recommend you repair your weapons right away before any next hunt exchange. And then we'll just go here and resupply what we need. So we need some, definitely need some Molotovs. Oil urns. Pebbles, fire paper, wallpaper, and I think that'll be it. The rest we will just probably burn. See what else we need to buy here. You can pretty much buy Ritual Blood level 2 and 2 Mold 2 now for additional ritual rites. But we're not going to do that. We won't burn those echoes yet. Instead, we'll head right to the Hintertomb Chalice Dungeon. Just go right to it. So as soon as we get started, we'll light the lantern, just like usual, business as usual. Go ahead and head into the first Chalice Dungeon Chamber. Inside, we'll get another lantern. Go ahead and take the liberty of checking the for any hidden chambers. I don't know if there is any. Like I said, this is their basic Tomb Chalice dungeon, so we may not find anything. But it's always healthy to look. Over here we see that there's our way out, but we can't access it. We need to find the switch over here. Oh, somebody died. Quicksilver bullet on the body. Over here, a ghoulie lying in wait. This is a pretty modestly difficult Chalice dungeon. You can pretty much tell if you kill an enemy and you get the echoes back, you pretty much know it's not really that hard. But you will get introduced to some new elemental factors of threats here, so be wary of the oil urns. Case in point, that being the reason. You son of a... jerk. You got this uber ghoulie basically picking a fight with us. Oh, we got a madman. So we want to get rid of her. She can be very fast, very aggressive. She's a new type of enemy, but she is very dangerous all the same. So use your aggression against her. You can easily best her with a visceral attack. So she'll drop us a Beast Hunter Blood Gemstone. These are blood gemstones specifically tailored for killing of beasts. So if you're looking to build yourself a good Beast Hunter weapon, these will be your go-to. Put on some throwing knives and some rope Molotov cocktails for rear defense and some pebbles. Inside this chamber, we'll go ahead and grab the cold blood dew off the body and the blood vials off the wall body. Head through. Pretty sure that mad one actually chased us from her post when she heard the explosion. You can hear dogs above us, so there may be a chamber above us with dogs. Sounds like we got a blood licker below us, so we'll go ahead and take advantage of her thirsty ass. Oh, she went down like easy, didn't she? Oh, she dropped us a blood gem. Level 2. Eh. The harder the mission, the better the blood gems you'll get, so I can't be terribly disappointed that it was such a weak blood gem. But we'll go ahead and head up here now. The goal of this at this point is not really so much in the way of so much in the way of echoes. Here we have a witch trying to take my eye. Not taking my eye, sweetheart. And like every witch, she drops pebbles. Occasionally she'll drop you a bloodshot eyeball. Or sedative. Once we've taken care of the mad one that's guarding the switch, we can actually pull the switch and move on. So we will head through this passage here now. Another one. Interesting. Interesting. So, well, in any case, we pretty much have found that one out. So, ultimately, that will be an easy navigational measure for you if you're new to this Chalice Dungeon. It's pretty straightforward, but it introduces the introductory of the Mad Ones, as well as the, I'd like to call them Uber Ghoulies, because they look like Ghostface, but they're like bigger and they got a gun. So, head back to the central chamber and lift the gate and then head through the side area, and we'll finish our sweep of this area as well. In the distance we can see there's a nightmare, so we're going to get him, intercept him. We also see a bell-ringing witch, so we're going to get rid of her next. These enemies have poison on their side, so we want to be careful with them. Grab the quicksilver bullets off of her. Grab the blood vials off of him. Another cursed blood gemstone. You'll find that this is actually a pretty ripe opportunity to get some easy blood gemstones that are cursed. You'll find more of those in cursed Chalice Dungeons as well as defiled Chalice Dungeons. Once we've dispatched him, head over here, back down the stairs, and then open up the switch, the door to the right that we bypassed. You'll find a lot of the enemies here have poison weapons, so be careful with that. If you have poison, make sure you have a good supply of medicine. Oh, nothing but foes here. Oh, how generous of you, thank you. Grab the quicksilver bullets off the body. And there's another door here leading on to the next area. It's dark, use your torch. Sounds like we have another poltergeist. So we'll go up here and dispatch her. Now the poltergeist will vanish and appear closer to do an attack, so just be on your guard when she does that. Also, you'll notice that if she damages you, there is no rally you get from her if you do a visceral attack, because she's a poltergeist, she's a spirit. So there's nothing you get for health back if you manage to do a rally attack on her. In here we have a trap. We have a mad one at the end of the room. This one has a fire imbued weapons on him, so we're gonna want to put on a charred outfit for this. So I don't want to get cooked by her fire blades. So she'll rush you like usual, and what you want to do is just parry her attack, just like that. But unfortunately, she stunned us to where we couldn't do anything. Come on, lady. You gonna do it? Unfortunately, I didn't do a parry attack on her, but it's very difficult with mad ones to do visceral attacks because they are incredibly so fast. So the timing has to be just right, otherwise you end up missing like I did. Open the coffin, and inside we'll find some ritual blood and some pebbles, and search the other bodies if you haven't already, and grab the more pebble out of the other item. We can hear there's a blood liquor, so we have another one. Head through this passage up here. I think this is another area behind us. Okay, here we go. So we have easy opportunity to get the drop on this blood liquor here. Blood liquors will typically appear with the giant fat one enemies, the uber ghoulies, or in this case, potentially the mad ones as well. So we'll backtrack and we'll listen for the mad one that potentially we got. Doesn't look like it, so we'll drop down. So that's pretty much all that we got here, and we can head on to the next area. Our first major boss. Well, we got a threat. Hang on. So let's open up the passage to the main first boss fight. The man-eating boar. So immediately, as soon as you want to close the distance as fast as possible. And basically, that's because he will charge you. Oh! That's it. And from him we'll get a radiant blood gemstone as well as 5,000 echoes. Right the lamp and then take the ladder down. The elevator down. Now, I believe Hintertomb, I'm not sure if it's Hintertomb or I think it's Hintertomb that's the initial precursor for getting Adept Blood Gemstones, which is basically the triangular gemstones. But ultimately you get arcane ones from the Isu Chalice Dungeon. So here we have a side area. We'll go ahead and explore this now. Phantoms, not a good sign. Once you dispatch the phantoms and the bell-ringing witch, we'll go ahead and just do a quick search of the vicinity. Here we have a hall to the right. At him. And right, and of course another one up here that's got this armed, which we'll get rid of. So once we dispatched him, head back down the stairs and immediately open the chest. Inside we'll find some bloodshot eyeball, more ritual items for more Chalice dungeons. This side area up here looks like it's pretty much nothing here, but don't be fooled because usually this is a good indicator where there could be a hidden passage. So always check the surrounding areas. Check the crevices around the side, middle, symmetrics of the walls, as well as the corners. Here, this one is obviously, this is where we initially came in, but this is what led us to the upper chamber. So we'll go back the way we came. Instead of taking the left like we did, we'll take a right here. And in the distance, we have another mad one, as well as some dogs. Let's get rid of the dogs first. Alright, girl. Come say hi. If you can get her to do that little rapid attack, you can get her. You're guaranteed to get a visceral attack on her if you can stun her in that. You know, swinging that weapon back and forth like that in a frenzy. Open the coffin, and inside we will find ritual blood. Now, I know there's probably an element of people that will feel this is kind of a grindy kind of job, but it's kind of relevant because the fact is there are going to be elements and features and resources and weapons and keys and unlockables and items you're not going to be able to get traditionally if you just rush through the main game. Hence why I've taken the measurable time to considerably include a lot of the Chalice dungeons. Because there's a lot of elements that would otherwise be gone. There's a lot of elements that would otherwise be gone, would go on to be remissed. Just listening real careful for a blood liquor. But even if there is one, I'm not going back for it because it's 900 echoes. That's not enough to keep me invested. So once you're out of the side area, enter the next passage, and we will enter chamber level 2. Now here we will have a few things. Number one is basically this catacombs little area. We'll have a rifleman in the middle. We'll sneak up and dispatch him easy enough. On to our left will be our way out. So our way to get out is going to be up. So follow the circular stairwell. Be wary though, because at the top usually there will be a trap lying in wait where they will send a torched ball crumbling down the stairs. Very Indiana Jones-esque. On the left at the top of the stairs there will be some cold blood. Over here it looks like we got a trap. Waste of time. I don't know why people do that. I mean, if you're trying to be a troll, I mean, good for you, I guess. But otherwise, it's a dickheadish thing to do. Okay, so now we're in the vicinity where we have poison elements in the Chalice Dungeon. So what we're going to need is we're going to need our medicine. And we're going to need our white church hunter outfit to counteract the poison. So we're going to just basically take the initiative. Just have your poison your medicine at the ready for the job. So there's going to be an ambush here, so I thought there would be like a teleporting ambush, but it seems not. Once we dispatch that threat, take the stairs down and check around the sides of the stairs, make sure there's nothing hidden. Okay, golden. And now we'll be entering this giant cavernous area. And below us will basically feature a number of things. Number one, we will notice that there is a cannon-armed undead giant. So we want to be careful with him. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and equip ourselves with some poison knives. And maybe we'll get lucky enough to do enough damage to him that. Otherwise, we need to buy some poison knives. Cross the bridge and then head through this passage here. The hell are you doing, lady? Nope. Yeah, be mindful of the incense burning poison, the poison incense, because that will actually raise your poison meter as well as a new hazard. That will be a door leading out, but I haven't really taken a look upstairs, so I'm going to go. Well, actually, I'm going to come back this way anyway, so I'll just come back and visit this another. Right now, I want to get out here and see what threats we're working with. So as we can see, this whole area is permeated and saturated with poison. I can see in the distance we have some ghoulies, probably armed with poison knives. I don't see anything else, though. No rats. Maybe the predominant threat is the poison, so we'll just have to be vaguely aware of that. I see rats there. Now I see them. Dispatch that ghoulie threat there. Ah, here comes our mad one. The mad one wants to come up here and pick a fight, so okay. Alright, come on. So, get rid of the mad one. That's easy peasy. And she will drop us a Tempering Blood gemstone. We have Viper balls. These are a unique enemy specific to the Forbidden Forest. We have not encountered them yet, but we will once we get back to the process of encountering the Forbidden Forest. So basically just what we want to do is just get ourselves into position where we can get a good vantage point on poisoning the church giant, the undead giant, the cannon. I try to avoid the cannon as much as possible. That is the greatest threat you're going to have. Oh! So he's basically poisoned. The whole point behind why I wanted to poison him is so I can get him into the poison. That will enable the poison to work a little bit harder, and that will make my job easier to kill him. So, glad that worked. Gave us a bloodstone shard for our trouble, so that's okay, I'll take it. Over here, grab the blood vials, use the medicine to mitigate the poison effect. Try to stay on dry land as much as possible. Once you get inside this chamber here, you should be relatively okay, free of the poison issues. Grab the nightmare, and then we will contend with dealing with these rats. As you can see, these rats are significantly poisonous. They got bulbous tumors all over them, so some of them may be poisonous, or they may not be. But we dispatched the mad one, so we don't need to deal with her now, but we'll get rid of this uber ghoulie and get rid of him. he will give us some tomb mold. Open the path with the switch. Some blood bullets. And we'll have our medicine handy. Trying to find the ladder here. It's very kind of difficult to see where the ladder is. There it is, right there. And that will pretty much be that. Now we can head back the way we came. And we want to take that bridge back across this cavern. So scale back up the ladder. Obviously that's where we came in. I think that's where we came in, isn't it? Nope. This is where we came in, but I want to search that area before we leave. And we just got cold blood dew at the end of it. So we'll head back out the way we came, across the bridge. There's a blood liquor in the distance, but I'm not going to jump down here and deal with it. I'm not going through all that. 900 echoes and only a level 2 blood gemstone. Not a good enough reason. So, in this rare instance, I'm going to bypass that altogether entirely. So instead what we'll do is we'll run back. And just drop down. Oh, forgot about this. Antidote. Cool. So, I'll keep the white outfit on just for the moment. Make sure there's no more poison to deal with. And it looks like we got another victim. Mind the alcoves. Looks like we still got poison to deal with, so kind of a good thing I put the poison outfit, kept the poison outfit on. Once we dispatch the blood gel and the rats, we're gonna deal with, oh, damn, okay. Ooh. That tickled. Snake ball with poison. He'll drop a cursed murky blood gemstone. Cursed monkey blood gemstones are basically poisonous blood gemstones that have a curse on them, like reduced damage or whatever have you. Open the chest here underneath this bridge and you'll find some ritual materials. Avoid the oil. Be careful with the oil placement like this, because that means there's somebody above us that could throw a firebomb and get us. So we're gonna keep to the left, just climb. Over here on the left, there'll be some pebbles. And then we have a pendulum's trap. run through, stop, run through. And inside here, we will have a chest. Which will hold 2 of 4 2 mold. Level 4 2 mold. Run back through, take a left, access the next sanctum. Here we have some other threats. I believe this is actually a side area. Quicksilver bullets off of that one. We also have a mad one, it looks like. Enough. Take a chill pill. Killing the mad one will drop some quicksilver bullets. Open the coffin. And inside we'll find some bloodshot eyeballs over here on the wall. Some blood vials. Now, I could very well drop down there. But I'm going to... Well, actually, I think I will drop down there because I kind of want to have the opportunity of surprise. I know there's a nightmare down here I don't want to have get away. Lots of rats down here too, huh? Got blood gels as well. But thankfully they're weak because this chalice, because our arcane energy is up a little bit. But we have corpses. Bold hunter mark off the corpse. Another blood gel. You can burn the corpses down here. They're covered in oil, so they take more damage from fire. Grab the blood vials. Once you've dispatched all the enemies, grab whatever they drop. Over here in the corner, there's some quicksilver bullets. And also back here, there's also some chests. Oh, you fucking dick. Alright, once he's done, grab the chest items, 2 mold, blood vials from him, and more 2 mold. So, lots of ritual items here you can pretty much gather. And now we can make our way back. Unless we're going in... I don't think we're going in circles. Yep, here we go. To the left. Once you pass that passage, come back to this passage, and then you're back on track. Now, I don't know what's in this next Chalice dungeon, so we'll have to plan accordingly. I'll keep the poison outfit, just in case it is a poisonous enemy. Undead giant with a cannon. So we're going to want to change our outfit to You can use the columns for cover, but you only will get one shot of protection from the of cover. What we want to do is get that big bulbous tumor on his shoulder. That's what we want to do. There we go. Done. And then with that defeat of the undead giant with the cannon, we get the Hintertomb Root Chalice. So that will enable us to do labyrinthian, more difficult chalice dungeons. Adept Blood Gemstone also will be his reward for us. So once we have those items, we're going to go ahead and flip the lantern and head into the next chalice dungeon. Take the elevator down. So once we get right to this point, we're going to be in the level 3 layer. There's going to be a side area to our right. Let's go ahead and sweep it. And then we can see there's some poison enemies, so we best have our wits about us with poison. I think we got our medicine still on. Yep, we do. So let's have it handy. Man, you see what I mean? They hit you like a damn dump truck and but they die so easy. That's the crazy thing. Alright, so we have phantoms. Gotta be careful with phantoms now. I'm not too worried about them. I just want to make sure I get my wits about me with the next stage, so. Leave some coins to show that we've been here before. Grab the taunt. I'm so tired of this. Quicksilver bullets. Open the chest. And inside we will find Bloodshot Eyeball. More ritual item material. Where did you come from? That little bitch right there. Enough, lady. Bone marrow ash on the left. And then come back here and just take one last look around to make sure you don't miss any collections, any resources, any chests. Obviously, this is where the phantoms that were being dispatched towards us were coming from. So we'll proceed with the next level here. Now, despite the bell-ringing witch being defeated, you have the occasional numbers of phantoms still at present here. But as you can see, there's actually another bell-ringing witch. So there's usually two at times which can be a pain in the ass, especially if they're summoning, you know, the little bug phantoms. So once we dispatch the bell ringing witches and the phantoms associated with them, head to the top of the stairs and open the path to this other room. Here we will have two big ghouly riflemen. Obviously that one fell through the map, and unfortunately I can't get the woody drop, so I got the quicksilver bullets from this one though, so that's a plus. Get some blood bullets and heal. And then we're gonna head down here just to see what's down here real quick. And then here is our way out. Open up that path. Over here we have a poison incense burner. We'll destroy that. Over here, quicksilver bullets on this body. Through here, another chalice. It looks like another tomb area. And a mad one lying in wait. Tempering Blood Gemstone, and then as well as a ghoulie with his little hook sword. Sorry, kid. Children of the Corn is not here. Little scythe. Over here you'll find a chest. Ignore the coffin for the moment. We'll get that in a minute. Another chest in the far right. Far lower right. And then over here, a tiny chest usually, and yet it's not here, so we'll take the coffin now. Inside the coffin, we'll find 3 ritual blood. And with that, we can go back up the ladder now and proceed into the next area to open up the gate leading to the third and final inner sanctum. Oh. Well, I thought it would be here, but it seems like it's just a ghoulie looking for a pick fight. Some blood vials and a chest. Alright, tomb level 2. Mold. So get rid of this incense. So this is pretty much the scope of that area, so I don't think we really need anything else we need to worry about. Instead, we'll head on back. And I think we're free and clear to head through to the main chamber. So once you get inside, light the lantern like usual, business as usual. Search the side walls like usual, because we don't know if there's a hidden passage or not. Obviously there's a gate ahead of us, and ahead of us, to our left, is where we need to go to get that gate lifted. So first, before we head upstairs, I'm going to sweep this room. Obviously we have more poison. Another asshole looking to throw poison knives. We don't have a poison outfit on, but I'm going to try to avoid the poison right now. So, but over here there's a passage in this little carved out hole. Grab the antidote. And dispatch the enemy. Up here, there will be some bone marrow ash, and the body will also drop possibly Cursed Fire Blood Gemstone. Now, up here, there will be potentially not really in the way of threats, but I believe this is actually why I took the other route. Yep, I was right. I thought that this possibly was going to be blocked, so that's why I took the alternative route going to the far back wall. So when you go up the ladder here to climb up here, it's actually going to be blocked. What you're going to want to do is basically go to the very far back of that room. This will be a dead end. But head down the stairs once you get there, and you will have a blood vial deposit there we can acquire. And then head over here to this door which we passed earlier and open this up. Inside, we will have a rifleman as well as a mad one. Gotta get rid of this rifleman first if we can. Come on, sweetheart. You hit like a bitch. Once you dispatch the mad one, grab the quicksilver bolts off her, and then flip the switch. Drop down. And you will have more quicksilver bullets. Head through this passage. So obviously it seems like we got a ball trap ahead, which do. There's a throwing knife on the left. Go ahead and take down that enemy. Now first thing we'll do is we're going to go to the right, because I want to see where this leads to a chamber, which it does. There's multiple riflemen in here, so be careful. Quicksilver bullets. Open the chest. Inside we will find ritual blood. Head to the left behind this alcove here. And another chest with more ritual blood. And then we will just wait for the opportune moment to head up the other way. Yeah, if you can't make it, don't be worried about, taking a detour to make sure you don't get killed. Kill the nightmare in this room. And then we basically can make our way out. Oh, sounds like we got company. So once we pretty much have dispatched those threats, we can pretty much see about going into the next phase of the area. We don't need to really so much worry about going out the tunnel. We could use the ladder, we could use the tunnel, it doesn't really matter. Basically just want to get back to the main chamber so that we can get to the door now that we have unlocked. So now that we've opened the passage, we can head to the next boss. And here we go. And in this Chalice Dungeon, we will face the boss of... Oh, the Blood-Starved Beast. Wonderful. Okay, so we're obviously going to need poison protection, so let's get that on. This bastard will be basically lumbering along to catch us. So we can take the time to basically just navigate it to the best of our ability. We're going to need medicine. We're going to need fire paper. We're going to need blood cocktails. Obviously, this area is poison-clad, so we want to avoid that. Try to stay off the stones if you can. Use a blood cocktail right now. Get his attention. Goodbye. Yes. So with that being said, we got another chalice of the lower Hintertomb Chalice. We also got a warm blood gemstone, and we got two twin bloodstone shards. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we'll go ahead and take advantage of that to just run over here. I'm not sure if this is a 4-layer chalice dungeon or a 3-layer. It looks like it's a 3-layer, so that's good. One less thing for us to contend with. So we're going to head back to the Hunter's Dream now. And now with those chalice dungeons pretty much vanquished, we are pretty much on the mend of every and all chalice dungeons being pretty much closely completed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set up a bunch of them for the next time, because I'm going to end the stream. I've got to get a couple of hours of sleep because I got to be someplace in the morning. It's 4:20 a.m. So we're going to set up first. We're going to do the Lower Thumeru Root Chalice Dungeon. We'll offer a fetid and rotted offering. Oh, I don't have enough ritual materials to do it. Alright, it's okay. I got you covered. We're gonna go buy some. We need some bloodshot eyeballs, it says, so let's buy some. Go to the Insight shop and buy a few of them. I believe that's what we need. I hope that's what we need. So let's find out. So lower Thermiru. Oh, inflicted organ. We need inflicted organ to do that. So it looks like we're just going to do Sage's offering. We don't have enough inflicted organ to do that. That's another offering we get from the giants with the swords, the skeletal warriors. So we'll have to settle for the fetid offering, but you could do this as fetid offering, rotted offering, or neither of them. So we'll just go ahead and put that in there. So fetid Lower Thumeru Labyrinth. Set up. Now we'll set up a sinister Lower Thumeru Root Chalice Dungeon. This will give us a ritual of a sinister bell ringing, so potentially a PvP, but I'm not interested in that, so we'll see what we can get with this. We'll set this up as well. We'll also set up the Defiled Chalice Dungeon, which will conduct us with a Bastard Loran, Arcane Haze, and Ritual Blood. So we'll set that one up. And then we will also set up a Hintertomb Root Chalice Dungeon. And then we will set up a lower Hintertomb Chalice Dungeon. And then finally, last but not least, we will set up the Ailing Loran Chalice Dungeon. Oh, actually we can't. We don't have enough cold blood flowers. Let me see if I can buy some. I think I can buy some. I need 2. Okay, good. I got 2. Now I can set it up. And bada bing, done. So now, as you can see, we have every single one of the Chalice Dungeon tombstones being used at the same time. The only one we don't have used is the default Root Chalice Dungeon, which basically is anything and everything. We'll probably throw that one up there. A dungeon quick search. So as you can see, we got a sinister list. I probably won't do that until I do the other one. So this one will just sit here. I'll do this at my leisure. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and burn some of these echoes if we can. I don't know if we have enough for an upgrade. I'm hoping we do, but we'll see. So use the channel blood echoes. Nope, we don't have enough. We're 6,000 short, so that's okay. That's okay. We'll just burn them. Buy some resources. So we'll buy 2 bloodstone pungent blood cocktails. We'll buy 8 throwing knives. Some fire paper. And what else do we need? Could use some more rope Molotov cocktails. Oh, you know what I do need? Molotovs. I got Molotovs. Okay, never mind. We need more blood vials, so I'll buy 153 blood vials. Bam. Big money. And some coins. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. That was actually quite productive. I'm glad I got through as much of it as I did. I didn't think I was going to get through that much, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm sorry that I actually got kind of ahead of myself and I found those items that were off stream. I'm hoping you guys can find them easy enough now that I've showed you where to find them with those runes in particular. In the future, though, I will be more diligent. That's why I made the second character, because in the event I decide I want to play some Bloodborne. I really want to play, and my memory isn't really too on key with whatever resources I have or whatever resources I've yet to find. I don't want to get ahead of myself and ruin that with the next stream because I went too far ahead and I got something done or I had a boss fight that you didn't get to see. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself on that. So I just the next time I come about to stream, I will do more Chalice Dungeons. I got to do a little bit of editing with the other previous stream because I haven't really added the links for the Bloodborne Wikipedia, and I also got a little area in there that I didn't include in the description. So this one I'll do the same thing. I'll probably do it later today, but I'm very happy with that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope it wasn't too, daunting and drag ass. I know the Chalice Dungeons can be very boring for some people, but they're really, really important to do. Particularly if you're looking for really powerful weapons, runes, and anything else that would be pretty much like something you could only find in the Chalice Dungeons. So, but the next time I get on, I'm going to get myself back to the Chalice Dungeon to be set up. I'll probably do like 1 Chalice Dungeon, and then I'm going to get back to the sequence of playing the actual story mode, because we still have the Forbidden Woods to explore, and we still have a lot of quest lines we have to fulfill. So the next time will be Chalice Dungeon and probably exploring the Forbidden Woods. So with any luck, hopefully you guys will be there for that. If you have any if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer them if I know them offhand. If not, I'll point you in the right direction where you can get your answers. I'm Savage, Squishy 86. I am tired as shit and I am going to bed. So feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will check you next time when we continue our live stream coverage of Bloodborne. Have a good night, guys, or good morning. I'll see you then. Good night.